Hey everyone, there we go. Someone's going to catch
Okay.
that, right? I'm Jeff Cohen. Welcome to Business Opportunities Live. Today's restaurant edition includes Celeste, Young-Ramos, and Gene Cohen, my brother from another mother. Yeah.
Hey,
And,
so you gotta get my name right by week number 8, okay?
oh, wait a minute. Young-Ramos.
Young-Ramos, not
Oh.
Flores.
Ah,
I didn't marry my husband's cousin.
no, we don't want to do that. That would not be good here. How about if I just put that up for everybody? Thank you, Stu. I know I've done it more than once. I apologize.
All right.
From the bottom of my heart. Let's see. For today's edition, we're going to talk about what we can be doing now that restaurants are starting to be able to open back up again. I know Gene's done some research. Celeste is actually hosting a webinar in just about an hour on this specific topic. I think maybe we can get her to give us a little preview of what we can expect to see and hear on that.
Okay.
So let's share with us what's the restaurant owners be doing to ignite their businesses today.
Well, first off, I just want to say that restaurants haven't been given the okay to open up broadly yet. They're still on the same procedures before with curbside. But we are having a workshop today with the Pacific Coast Regional Small Business Development Center. I'm doing a workshop on reigniting your restaurant. We're going to talk about ways to improve your curbside delivery, all the new sanitation rules that you need to put in place to protect your employees. We'll talk about the coronavirus, the paid family leave, and paid sick leave acts. It's just an hour full of packed stuff. We'll have a person with leasing come on talking about how to talk to your landlords about their lease. So a lot of really good information there, and we'll talk about how to protect your restaurant from coronavirus.
Wow, that's awesome, Celeste. So what I'm getting is that you guys are getting into some of the two major issues that restaurants are about to encounter as they start reopening. One of the biggest ones I heard is, hey, how to talk to your leasing company about your facility's lease.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been hearing them. Some landlords have been waiving some rent. Some have been saying they're reducing it. Everyone's required to do deferrals right now with you, but we're getting a broad variety of responses from landlords.
Do you know what the impact is on the landlords and how they're managing?
Well, I don't know. Being a property landlord, not very well. I know last month only 30% of my tenants paid rent. So they're on deferrals, and it's like, well, that doesn't help the mortgage payment that I have to pay this month. So, it's just a tough situation. And this whole experience has showed us more than ever, like just in your personal life, we say, have 6 months to 12 months reserve. That also applies to your business.
Right.
You had some of this, you always put it aside, like put that 10% or whatever you make ahead away. You would have a little bit of money in these kind of situations.
Celeste, a little bit here.
What's that?
I want to do a little here for Profit First, and the author of Profit First just released this book, Fix This Next. One of the things that he talks about in Profit First is that you define accounts, and he's got specific accounts that you define, and you put a certain percentage of money in there, and he's got that all figured out. I'm actually a Profit First professional certified to help businesses with this.
Yeah.
The objective is, it's not that you put 10% away, 20% away, or 1% away. It's that most business owners right now, when you talk to them, are going to have a really tough time with the concept of profit.
Right.
They're all struggling right now, especially restaurant owners. So how can I put even 1% away?
Right.
But if you don't have a practice and a habit of putting the money away and when to do it, then you're always going to be struggling. You're always be looking for, how do I get there?
Yeah.
Right? How do I get to that 6 to 12 months? It's a never-ending battle. So, for those of you that have questions about how to do that, here's my email address. Please feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you understand the steps that are practical steps you can take to get on that road. Because Celeste is 100% right.
Yeah, I know. Like I worked for a large franchisee. They had 17 restaurants, and they were very smart about that. We knew that the hot water heater that's $5,000 would go out every 3 years. We knew that we'd have to be forced by the franchisor to remodel every 7 years. So they just automatically had accounts set aside for those things so that when they came about, they didn't have to take loans or use credit cards to pay for those type of expenses. So
really smart.
Yeah.
Really smart. I think that's the thing a lot of business owners don't do when they get started. They don't necessarily plan for known expenses that'll show up in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think, like you said, hey, if it's franchise, well, most franchise businesses actually state in their contract, we want you to remodel every so often. We want you to take care of your property.
Yep.
If there's a problem, you have to fix it in so many days.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Those are guarantees. Cool. Is there anything else?
Also, right now I wanted to bring up there's a new program by the state called the Great Plates Delivered, and it's a program that they're trying to help both the seniors get fed and restaurants to make money. So you can sign up your restaurant to actually prepare meals and deliver them to seniors. They can do 3 meals a day. They're paying like $66 for the 3 meals.
Wow.
I sent Jeff the link to put on the website, but you could go on and enroll. I have several customers that are bringing in like $1,000 to $2,000 a day in this program. So I would bring it on. A great way to use some of your PPP dollars right now.
That's awesome. So what you're saying is that if you're a restaurant, you can sign up to be a service participant in this program.
Yeah.
And be assured money every day.
Yeah, they just say that, you have to provide an entree, and then they have some qualifications that at each meal there's a piece of fruit on it. But it's very easy. They could just Google Great Plates Delivered, California, or check our link wherever you have it there, Jeff. I'm not sure if it's on Facebook or on your website.
Let's see. I'll look for it and put it up here for everybody.
Tuesday's meeting, so it's probably there on Tuesday. And also, I've got all the links for PPP forgiveness. So all the frequently asked questions on the Treasury site, SBA website. So you should have some information there for you to follow for your forgiveness PPP.
Right. So I will share with you guys the Great Delivered website. It's actually right there on the state. Let's see here. Here it is. So here's what the Great Plates Delivered program for seniors.
Yeah.
You guys all see that?
Yep.
So on April 24th, Governor Newsom launched this program, and if you want to provide meals, submit your interest right here, right on the first page of it. And all I did was just search for Great Plates Delivered.
Yep.
So I invite everybody to go ahead and jump over there and have a look. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Well, good. Hey, Gene, I'm going to unmute you now. I've got a little background noise coming from your computer. But
I'm not quite sure where it's coming from because it's pretty quiet in my office here. So
okay.
not quite sure. The points I'd like to touch on for our restaurateurs out there is cash flow. And now that reopening is happening across the country, getting cash into the business to help you reopen is a very important part. So number one, what's been happening is you should talk to your vendors and see if they will take back your non-perishable inventory. So if you have basically like beer, wine, liquor that's still sitting from when you close down, your vendors may have other restaurants that have a demand for it. Call them up and ask them if they will take back this inventory that you don't need and generate some cash from it, because the vendors may be able to redistribute it to restaurants who do need it. So that's one possible source of cash that may be just sitting in your inventory.
Hey, Gene, I have a quick question for Celeste. Celeste, is there any issue with returning unopened alcohol to an alcohol distributor?
Right now, there's been a waiver on that, but I truly believe, like, it's been a month and a half, your perishables are already going to be used or discarded by this time.
Yeah, this is strictly non-perishables.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's.
I mean, usually, like, normal times, they'd let you take them back with a service charge for restocking for most items, yeah. But I did see that they changed the alcohol ruling and are even allowing people to sell alcohol from their sites off-site instead of just having the in-site. So,
okay.
And number two is the idea of pushing gift cards. So gift cards offer two very nice advantages. So if you're thinking of, when you start to reopen, is pushing the sales of gift cards. So they have two advantages. The first one is you get the cash immediately and basically don't have to deliver the food or the services until sometime in the future, but you get the cash now. And excuse me. Number two, historically, gift cards are only 80% redeemed on average. So as you're selling your gift cards, you're basically making 20% clear profit on the 20% that do not get redeemed. So while you're reopening, okay, put a little marketing time and some dollars.
I got my drawer full here.
into the gift cards. Okay,
yeah,
a good way to add to your profit and improve your cash flow now.
Okay, now I want to weigh in on this, Gene.
Okay.
So if you look at those gift cards, that's unearned income. Unearned income is very dangerous for most business owners, especially right now. The ones that are in a world of hurt financially are going to be likely to go straight to that unearned income and use it so they have money. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing it, but if they don't set themselves up so the money is there, when the cards get redeemed, they're going to be upside down. So in the profit first mentality, what I'm going to say is go ahead and sell all the gift cards you can. Okay? Now, let's figure out what percentage of that money you need to hold on to and what percentage of that money that you can have access to. Let's put yourself in a healthy financial position going forward. Because if you do start spending the gift card money now because you need it, and there's not the discipline around it, then in the future you might have an issue that kind of piles up on you.
Well, you will have an issue because on your balance sheet, the money you collect is a liability. It's the same as getting a deposit, and you'll offset your expense with it. So what's happening in the business is that the cash coming in and the restaurateur is using it to finance or grow his business or reopen it, but the liability is on the balance sheet. So he's not picking up income that he's going to have to pay tax on or declare. It's when the card is redeemed that he earns the income, and it goes from liability into income.
Yeah.
Plus, at a 20% premium, then that's a pretty good incentive for managing it. But you do have to be aware of it. It's not just take it, put it, spend it, and forget
Well, I
it.
mean, right,
There's some discipline.
yeah, there's two parts to that, right? One is the tax accounting. We're going to include having on your balance sheet as a liability. And the other is cash flow management, which is going to give you the ability to know how much cash you have and how much is actually a liability that you don't want to spend until it's redeemed. So it's almost like when people do this, they're going to feel like they're getting an interest-free loan, but it's the interest-free loan that'll come bite you in the ass if you're not careful.
Yes, you have to manage it. It's like all the rest of the parts of your business, okay? Needs your attention. You have to keep track of it. But it gives you the opportunity to generate the cash now. But you have to watch it.
And I think people are very apt to want to help. I mean, people are likely to want to help. So that's what are you hearing from your restaurant owners? Are they using gift cards or any other strategies like that?
You know, a lot of the ones I'm working with aren't offering gift cards at all. You know, even like the chain restaurants I'm following, I'm not seeing them do any big pushes on gift cards right now. But, you know, I've seen some support groups say, hey, buy gift cards from certain restaurants to help support them out. But that's all I've seen so far.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a bad tactic. I'm just saying that's my observation.
No, that's great.
With my limited people.
Yeah, it's a area that a restaurant owner may want to look at. Like, what are some ways we can improve our cash flow? That may be one.
Yeah.
Cool. Gene, do you have anything else for us today?
Yes. Basically, a reminder to our restaurateurs that once you open the doors and start doing business, all the IRS requirements as far as tracking your tip income and reporting are still there. So there isn't any forgiveness or anything along that line from the IRS. You're still going to expect the wait staff to report every day in your Form 4070 the tips that they have taken in, and the employer still has to keep track and include the tips into their W-2s along with the other reporting requirements. So as everybody's focused on getting the doors open and getting the customers back in, don't put your IRS reporting requirements on the back shelf and say, oh, I'll get to it later. Okay, just a reminder to be aware that those rules are still there and the restaurateurs still need to follow them.
Can I add a couple more cash flow items?
Yeah, please do.
Right now with the CARES Act, you have the payroll retention credits, so you can take some, if you, not while you're on PPP, but until you've been, during the time until you're forgiven on PPP, you can get payroll tax credit. It's called the payroll retention credit, and also sales tax. Right now, you can defer sales tax up to get back over a 2-year period interest free. And also there's one for Social Security tax, affected or not by COVID-19.
It applies to all employers.
Yeah, all employers. You can defer your Social Security tax for 2020. So there are a lot of little incentives out there. They're not going to bring them huge amounts of money, but every little bit counts right now when you're in an industry that works on 5-cent profit per dollar. You know?
Absolutely. No, I want to thank you.
Yeah, it's not so much that it brings the dollars in, is that it keeps the dollars from going out.
Yes.
Right. Well, cash is king right now. I think we're all clear on that. So I want to thank you guys today. This is really helpful. I hope everybody that watched got some benefit out of like how they can reignite their business, where the money is, and how to keep it as opposed to giving it to the government, as Gene so vocally challenges us. And Celeste, is there anything that you want to say in closing today?
Well, one thing I just want to say, maybe if the viewers can leave comments for us on the sound quality so we can make sure if you're hearing us, because I'm having a hard time today. I know, Jeff, you were. I don't know if it's the StreamYard's the problem. I'm not sure, but just curious on that. And please give us any questions you want to ask us about restaurants, particularly about opening, how to use the PPP, anything like that. It doesn't have to be just restaurants. It could be anything, because a lot of these same principles in the restaurants will apply to any business out there.
Yeah, and if you have, tax questions or finance questions, you can certainly send them, and we'll try to help you with those.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, have an amazing day. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye, guys.